Despite being on the lower end of the X570 spectrum, does the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite motherboard compete with its product stack? Tune in to find out. Hey guys, this is Chester here. You guys are watching our channel at Chester and Unboxing, where we do different unboxings of tech products, assemblies and more. Today we'll be taking a look at yet another motherboard, but it is something new. We are taking a look at an X570 motherboard. Yes, I know that we haven't done an X570 unboxing before, but there is it. You have asked for it. Here we are. So yes, this item is the Gigabyte Aorus X570 Aorus Elite. Is actually one of the lower end of their X570 series, their high end being the Aorus Master. For majority of the users out there, I believe this product is going to be the product that will appeal most users out there. So it actually comes with an ATX standard size and it has the AM4 chipset, which means it's going to support your first, second and third generation Ryzen processors. Right, let's open this up. Okay, so right, remove this. Let's talk about the motherboard in a short while, but before that, let's take a look at the accessories. Because if you notice, higher end boards tend to provide more accessories, so I'm not expecting this board to really provide a lot. Anyway, this is the manual. Read on, please read your manual. Your motherboard manual is very important. This is your drivers, your drivers for your motherboard, and provided is a couple of SATA connectors. It's a pair here and a pair here, so there are 4 connectors in total. 2 straight and 2 straight and 2 straight angle. Alright, this is the multilingual installation guide, so it provides a handy-dandy step-by-step guide on how to install your peripherals, hard drives, graphic cards and more. And yes, this is something that I really love. So this is actually your front panel connector. Okay, so as we all know, the front panel connector cables are irritatingly small, and if you really have small hands, good for you. But for bigger sized humans like us and who have bigger hands, it's really very annoying to fit that stupid 1 to 2 pin to those headers on the motherboard. So what this does is it provides a handy adapter. So it tells you where to plug in. So you plug it onto this first, and then this will one shot plug it straight to the motherboard. Very useful, and I really recommend every company to provide with a similar installation guide for this. Screws for your this is screws for your M.2 drive, and this is actually a spare standoff for your M.2 drive in case your drive is actually shorter than the 2280 size, which we'll talk about it in a short while. So this provides you with a spare. And last but not least, a case badge for, you know, Aorus, some Aorus user, if you're that kind of person. I'm not. I prefer lights. Moving on, down to the board itself. And do not put the board on top of the bag, alright? Just put it somewhere safe. Alright, here comes the board itself. So it's pretty good, it's pretty neat. There are not many exposed cabling, which I really love, because sometimes it can get really fragile at times. Alright, so as you can see here, this is an ATX size, standard size. Alright, AM4 socket, which is standard retaining pin, you know, stuff like that. Standard mounting for AMD brackets. This is actually a 12 plus 2 phase power for your chip, which means that even if you put a 12 core CPU on it, I think it's going to work very well. 16 core CPUs, maybe you want to consider in investing a higher end board. Alright, we have 4 DDR4 RAM slots here, which are double latched. So I remember some ASUS boards are only single-sided, but this has both. Nothing wrong with that. These 4 slots support up to a maximum of 128 gigs. Right over here, you will have a 8-pin EPS connector for the CPU. It's alright, and we have a 24 pin for the motherboard. We have a RGB 4 pin, a RGB 3 pin. Oh, I love that port. And we have yes, over here this is the M.2 slot. So they have already included a passive heatsink here by default. So you unscrew this, slide in your M.2 drive, and then just put on this heatsink on top of it. Gen 4 PCIe Gen 4 16X slot. Another PCIe, another 16X slot, PCIe 1, oh my god, PCIe 1, so 1X slot. This is your battery for your CMOS, another M.2 drive over here, another fan, and another RGB 4-pin header over there. Alright, so moving on to the side, oh sorry, over here we have a USB-C header, something cool. This is 6 SATA 6 gigabit per second ports. This will be your front connector, which I've mentioned about earlier, the adapter. This is your BIOS reset, USB 3, USB 3, USB 2, USB 2. You know, it's amazing that it really helps a lot to builders when brands or companies that actually bother to label. It really helps when you're building the system so that you really know what you're plugging into. Moving on, we have this is the TPM Trusted Platform Module, which nobody really uses it anymore. 4-pin RGB, 3-pin ARGB, and this is your HD audio. Talking about audio, let's move on to the I/O ports right here. Alright, so moving over here, we have 4 USB 2 HDMI. I believe this is HDMI 2, which means it supports up to 4K 60Hz, although you need an APU to utilize the onboard video function. A couple of USB 3, and this is the latest USB 3.2 Gen 2, which is your 10 gigabit per second slot. This is a standard gigabit Ethernet jack, and this will be your up to 7.1 channel audio surround sound, which the audio capacitors are here, isolated from the rest of the board. Alright, so all in all, I think this is a pretty feature-laden motherboard that is going to be useful for most users, and this, by the way, supports up to AMD two-way crossfire as well. Alright, without much else, I believe that is our unboxing and first look at the Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite motherboard. Alright, like this video if you liked it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so yet. I'm Chester, that's all for today. See you guys. I keep forgetting the word keyboard. Okay, never mind.